Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies. And this is Freemasonry, Early British, from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Freemasonry, Early British. Brother Robert Freak Gould, in his History of FM, page 381, writes, "The minutes of Scottish lodges from the 16th century and evidences of British Masonic life dating further back by some 200 years than the second decade of the last century were actually left unheeded by our premier historiographer. Although many of our authentic and invaluable documents lay ready to hand, only awaiting examination amongst the muniments in the old lodge chest, by the collection and comparative recent publication of many of the interesting records above alluded to, so much evidence has been accumulated respecting the early history, progress, and character of the craft as to be almost embarrassing, and the proposition may be safely advanced that the Grand Lodges of Great Britain are the direct descendants, by continuity and absorption, of the ancient Freemasonry which immediately preceded their institution, which will demonstrate without requiring the exercise of either dogmaticism or credulity. The oldest lodges in Scotland possesses registers of members and meetings, as well as particulars of their laws and customs, ranging backward nearly 300 years. These will form an important link in the chain which connects what is popularly known as the lodges of modern Freemasonry with their operative and speculative ancestors. There are no lodge records in England of the 17th century and records of only one between 1700 and 1770. The original St. Clair charters, in the custody of the Grand Lodge of Scotland, dated respectively 1601 through 1602 and 1628, are referred to by Gould, then are considered the Shaw Statutes, number 1 of AD 1598. See Shaw Manuscript. The Shaw Statutes, number 2 of AD 1599, and their relevancy to Mother Kilwinning Lodge, Escher number 0, with an important certificate from William Shaw, which proves that the document of 1599 was intended exclusively for the Masons under the jurisdiction of the Kilwinning Lodge. The subject of the Lodge of Edinburgh, number 1, and its career from its earliest records, dating back to 1599, down to the year 1736, when the Grand Lodge of Scotland was inaugurated, as most fully described in Lyon's history of this ancient lodge, passes under review, then appears, as Brother Gould says, one of the adornments of that history in the facsimile of the record of that lodge, showing that the earliest minute of the presence of speculative freeman Mason in a lodge and taking part in its deliberations is dated June 6, 1600. It is to be noted that the admission of General Alexander Hamilton on May 20, 1640, and of Right Honorable Sir Patrick Hume, Bart, on December 27, 1667, are specifically recorded as constituting these, Antron, Fellow and Mister of the Forced Craft, and Fellow of Craft and Master, of this lodge respectively. It is assumed that Master simply meant a compliment. Certainly, there was nothing corresponding with the ceremony of a Master Mason's degree at that time. Many of the operatives did not view the introduction of the speculative element with favor, and at one time they were arrayed in hostile camps. But eventually, those who supported the gentlemen, or geomatic Masons, won the day, the domatics having to succumb. In the Lodge of Aberdeen, the majority in AD 1670 were actually non-operative or speculative members. On March 2nd, 1653, appears the important fact of the election of a joining member. Again, Lyon declares that the reference to Freemasons in the minute of December 27, 1636, is the earliest instance yet discovered of Freemason being applied to designate members of the craft, and considers that it is used as an abbreviation of the term Freemen Masons. But while concurring therein, as did Brother Hewan, Gould thinks the word Freemason may be traced back to 1581, when the Melrose version of the old charges was originally written. Canongate Kilwinning Lodge No. 2 was commissioned or warranted by the Lodge of Kilwinning No. 0, granting powers to several of their own members resident in the Canongate, Edinburgh, and dated December 20, 1677. This, Brother Gould says, was a direct invasion of jurisdiction, for it was not simply a charter to enable their members to meet as Masons in Edinburgh, but also to act as independently as Mother Kilwinning, herself with a separate existence, which was the actual result that ensued. Scone and Perth, Lodge No. 3, is much older than No. 2, although fourth on the roll, though the authorities state that it existed before 1658, and the Grand Lodge acknowledges this date at the present time, placing No. 0 and 1, however, as before 1598, and No. 57, Haddington, at 1599, there being also many bearing 17th century designations. The Lodge of Glasgow St. John, No. 3, Biz, is next mentioned as an old lodge, undoubtedly, though its documents do not date back as far as some of its admirers have declared. The Reverend A.T. Grant is quoted as saying that every line is inconsistent with the charter phraseology of the period to which it has been assigned. But W.P. Buchan states that the first notice in the minutes of the Glasgow Incorporation of Masons bears date September 22, 1620, viz. Entry of apprentices to the Lodge of Glasgow, the last date of December 1613 years. Compare John Stewart. It was placed on the roll of the Grand Lodge of Scotland in 1650 as No. 3, viz. It was exclusively operative. Glasgow Kilwinning Lodge No. 4 dates from 1735. Canongate and Leith. Leith and Canongate. Lodge No. 5 is authoritatively acknowledged as dating from 1688. Lodge of Old Kilwinning St. John. Inverness No. 6 was granted a charter of confirmation on November 30, 1737, its existence being admitted from the year 1678, but a cloud resting upon the latter record. Hamilton Kilwinning, Lodge No. 7, is considered to date from the year 1695. Thus Brother Gould, in his remarkable history, continues quoting old charters, laws, statutes, etc., back even to the 16th century, in a most interesting manner, dissenting largely from the early history of Brother George H. Fort, and as well as from the Antiquities of Freemasonry by Brother Findell. See Four Old Lodges. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment, and if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.